The Supreme Court just handed down a major ruling that reshapes gun laws nationwide. This new decision impacts every lawful gun owner and sets the stage for massive changes. What does this mean for you? Let's dive into the 10 key changes that will define the future of gun ownership across the United States. Chapter 1. The Supreme Court's Major Decision. The Supreme Court's ruling on the Second Amendment, passed with a vote of 6-3, has completely altered the legal landscape for gun owners. This is not just another case. This decision redefines how gun laws will be treated at a national level. What once was a matter of local discretion, allowing states to impose their own rules, is now firmly in the hands of the U.S. Constitution. States can no longer impose unnecessary barriers between citizens and their fundamental right to carry. This ruling marks a shift that every gun owner across America needs to understand, as it directly impacts their rights going forward. Chapter 2. No more waiting for permission. For years, states have used bureaucratic red tape as a way to stall or deny lawful gun ownership. One of the key issues in this case was whether states could force individuals to prove a special need before issuing permits or create unnecessary delays in processing applications. The Supreme Court said no more. Under this new ruling, there is no more waiting for bureaucratic permission. If a lawful citizen applies for a permit, they should be granted one without unnecessary holdups. The decision emphasizes that the right to bear arms cannot be delayed by excessive bureaucratic hurdles. Chapter 3. The End of May Issue. Laws, for years, states like New York, California, and others used May Issue laws, meaning they had the discretion to deny gun permits even if applicants were qualified. This practice allowed local officials to deny permits for reasons that had nothing to do with the applicant's qualifications or the law itself. With this Supreme Court ruling, that era is over. The court ruled that May Issue laws were unconstitutional, meaning all 50 states must now conform to the Second Amendment's true meaning. No longer will your right to carry be dependent on the subjective decision of a local official. Chapter 4. Politics versus the Constitution. This decision isn't about politics, it's about the Constitution. The Second Amendment guarantees the right to bear arms, and the court has made it clear that no state can override this right based on political whims or local preferences. States are now required to adjust their laws to reflect this new constitutional reality, or face the consequences in court. The ruling underscores that the Second Amendment is not conditional. It is a permanent guarantee that cannot be taken away based on local political agendas. The Second Amendment is not conditional. It's a permanent guarantee. Chapter 5. Tackling long delays in permits. One of the most frustrating tactics used by anti-gun states was the delay of permit approvals. For years, states used the tactic of delay to prevent people from carrying concealed weapons, knowing that long waits would discourage applicants. This Supreme Court ruling directly addresses this issue. The court ruled that excessive delays in processing gun permits are unconstitutional. No more waiting months for approval. If your state is holding up your application for too long, they may soon face a federal injunction. Chapter 6. Federal action on delays. With the ruling firmly in place, states that continue to delay gun permit applications will no longer get away with it. Federal courts are now empowered to intervene and demand timely processing of all applications. States that drag their feet and fail to meet these requirements could face federal lawsuits and injunctions. The ruling makes it clear that the right to bear arms cannot be subject to delays and bureaucratic inefficiencies. Chapter 7. Training requirements. Under scrutiny. Training requirements for concealed carry permits have long been a point of contention. While training is important for safety, some states have used it as an obstacle. imposing long, expensive courses that are difficult for many citizens to afford. The Supreme Court's decision challenges these excessive training mandates. The court ruled that training requirements cannot be used as a barrier to the exercise of constitutional rights. States that use training as a way to make gun ownership inaccessible may face serious legal challenges. While training is still important, the court has made it clear that it must be accessible and not an unnecessary financial burden. Chapter 8. Background checks must be efficient. The background check process is a crucial part of ensuring public safety, but it's also one that has been subject to delays and inefficiencies in some states. The Supreme Court's ruling makes it clear that background checks must be processed quickly, accurately, and fairly. States and federal agencies can no longer impose indefinite holds or unnecessary delays on background checks. If a background check isn't processed within a reasonable time, it could be seen as a violation of the individual's constitutional rights. Chapter 9. Federal versus state authority. The ruling also raises important questions about the balance of power between state and federal authority. For years, states like California, New York, and New Jersey imposed some of the strictest gun laws in the country. With this ruling, the Supreme Court has sent a strong message. States cannot overrule national constitutional rights with their local laws. States that continue to enforce restrictive gun laws could find themselves facing federal challenges. The decision ensures that the Second Amendment applies equally in every state, regardless of local policies. Chapter 10. The road ahead. States that continue to defy the Second Amendment will face serious challenges in court. Federal courts are now poised to step in and protect gun owners from overreaching state laws. In the end, this ruling marks the beginning of a new era for Second Amendment cases. The Bruin precedent set in 2022 is now a foundational standard for future decisions. The Supreme Court has made it clear: gun laws must align with America's historical tradition of firearm ownership. So, what comes next? The battle for gun rights is far from over. While some states are rushing to expand rights, others are rethinking their approach. What happens in the next few years will determine how far we can push to restore the Second Amendment's original meaning. Rights don't wait for approval. Government must prove its case. This ruling has already set the stage for new challenges and new battles over gun ownership. But one thing is clear: the momentum is shifting in favor of gun owners. Stay informed, stay legal, and most importantly, stay free.